I am so glad you convinced me that the family car should be the Defender 110. It is so beautiful inside. It's so comfortable and it just feels indestructible.
Yes, it really is. I've been waiting a long time for the new model to come out. The Defender 110, I'm telling you, it's my favorite car of all times. It's my third one. You know, I have stories of going off road. The guy managed the group. He was like, "What are you doing in this beautiful car?" I'm like, "I'm going off road." He's like, "Are you sure? Because you can use one of ours." And then they look like Mad Max cars. I'm like, no, we're going to do this. And he was shocked.
Wow. Well, it's great because the Defender has been reimagined for 21st century adventure, and its unparalleled off-road ability as well as its robust interior are invaluable whether you're headed towards uncharted territory or just a weekend of exploration. The Defender 110 tackles challenging surroundings with absolute confidence. The SUV conveys strength outside and in, featuring peerless technology like an intuitive driver display and an award-winning infotainment system. That's my favorite part, to keep you connected no matter where the journey takes you. Adventure is unique to everyone, and so is the Defender. Choose from the two-door Defender 90, the four-door Defender 110, or the larger Defender 130 with the ability to seat up to 8 passengers. You'll find uncompromising performance in all three. So pack up and go even further with the Defender 110. Learn more at LandRoverUSA.com/Defender.
These days, we're all investors, trying to be smart with our money despite our worst impulses. But at iShares, we believe that deep down inside of every investor is a better investor. One that's just waiting to be let out. Explore iShares ETFs and insights and let your best investor out. Visit iShares.com for more information.
This isn't your average business podcast, and he's not your average host. This is
I Will Make You a Millionaire, another episode helping someone reach their goal of making millions. Robin, you remember the show Sanford and Son?
Yes.
Okay, you remember Red Fox?
Yes.
Okay, he played Sanford.
Right.
Okay, how old do you think he was? Just like, how old does he look on that show? And if for anybody listening, or for you, Jay and Jen, just Google Sanford and Son. It was about this old guy who ran a junkyard with his son. And Red Fox played the old guy, and he's a stand-up comedian. He was very funny. He was like a classic
70s or something? Late 60s?
He's 53 years old in most of those pictures.
Wow.
It's the same age as me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I
He
think
looks
people,
like he's 70.
I think people look younger now than they did
Yeah.
than the equivalent
Well,
people 50 years ago.
Tony Soprano, when The Sopranos came out, was like 39, but I thought he also
What?
looked, something like that, something weird like that too.
Yeah, no, I think he was younger than that, actually.
But he looks like 45, 50. You don't really know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he was born in 1961, and it came out around 2001, say. So he came out, the first season, I think, was 1999 or 2000. So you're right, he's 39.
How crazy.
And then he died in 2013. So he was only, what is that, like 52 years old.
Sad. Wow.
That was a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people look younger now. So anyway, Jen, how's it going? Got your note?
Yeah, I was telling them I was gonna cancel because I feel like a failure this week. Usually I come here, I'm so positive, I did so much, but I feel stuck. And I feel like I'm back in the ways of Jen, which is I'm really good at ideas, I'm really good at developing things, but growth is something that I've always had issues with. So I feel like when we talk about all the projects today, the number one thing I need help with is growth, because I'm trying things and some things are not working as I would want.
Well, let's go one by one down the projects.
Okay.
So the Odd Jobs newsletter, that has 950 subscribers, almost 1,000 subscribers now.
Yes. And I've done a lot. So I felt stuck there. So I made a list of like 10 ideas of how I was going to get more subscribers. I think I was at 800 something last time we spoke. So I did a lot of things. I was mentioned in CNBC again. So that was great. I got some traction from that. Then I updated the logo and the landing page to show CNBC that I was featured in that. I've been posting a ton on LinkedIn and Quora, which I think has helped. I reached out to other newsletters that are both in the side hustle space, but also in like jobs for moms, jobs for college students, and I'm negotiating like some ads with them, some partnerships, some cross promotion. And I also started to build out the Instagram page for Odd Jobs in hopes of attracting some new people that way. But, you know, last time we spoke, you were like, it's great if you can double every 2 weeks, but I'm feeling like their subscribers are trickling in. Maybe I get like 25 to 50 a week, but I feel at a standstill with the growth. And it's the same thing for the other newsletter too.
You're putting out the Odd Jobs newsletter pretty consistently at a more rapid pace. Like you've done 4 already in October.
Yeah, twice a week, every week.
And are you getting feedback? What kind of feedback are you getting?
I'm really not getting too much feedback at all. I'm not really hearing from anybody. I'm seeing that like I have like a 40-something% open rate, so people are opening it.
Yeah, that's really good. That's exceptionally good.
Yeah, and I think like people enjoy it, but I think, you know, I'm not really hearing back from people about how they feel.
By the way, with 1,000 subscribers, it's likely you're not going to hear from people. Like with 10,000 subscribers, you'll start hearing from people more. But the reason I ask is you want to get some sense if people are enjoying it. But I mean, I like this. Like this one, 5 ways to become a product tester, get paid for testing products. How much can you get paid for I always wonder this, like Nielsen, they pay you to watch TV, right?
Oh my God. You know what they did to Adam? Because Adam is a sucker for these surveys. They mailed him a $1 bill and was like, if you take this survey, you could make $30. So he took the survey, he made $30. Then they hooked him. He took another survey, he made $50. So you can make anywhere between like $50 to $500+ just by testing products or doing these surveys. And it doesn't take up much of your life except some time.
And what about Product Testing USA?
So all these places you could apply, you share your background, your demographics, who you are, and then brands can send you free products, and either you get the free product to test it, or they'll give you a gift card, or they'll give you cash. So all of these different companies are ways for people to become product testers, and it's quick money for not that much time.
So altogether, like if all I did was product testing, how much money do you think I can make per month?
Like maybe $3,000 if you really hustled pretty hard. But then I think once you got really good at it and you had a system down, maybe you could have like employees under you, like contractors under you, and really scam the whole system out.
Yeah, because like, for instance, I could have people in India in like a phone bank just do user testing after user testing.
Yep.
Pay them $1 and I get $10.
Yep. Exactly. I think there's like endless opportunities. I think if that's all you wanted to do, you'd have piles of free stuff and cash and gift cards. And I think it could be a great life, especially for someone who's retired or somebody who's on maternity leave or just somebody who doesn't want this active job in their life.
How much can I get paid to get like to try out like a coronavirus vaccine?
Okay, well, I got paid to get the vaccine $100 by the city or state of New York, actually. So that was a special that they ran. They gave me a $100 gift card. And I know cities across America are really pulling out the red carpet for people.
I got it way too early. I should have.
Yeah, you should have held out. You should say, I'm not getting it till you pay me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could buy me like 50 donuts right there.
Yeah.
I think they're giving out, like in some cities, they're actually giving you like free donuts for the rest of the year if you get the vaccine. So
first off, who knows whether it's double every 2 weeks or 100 a week or 500 a week or whatever. So I think we talked about Michelle Phan, the woman who does the makeup videos, and it wasn't until her like 61st video she did how Lady Gaga does makeup. She wasn't getting any views per video. She did this one video, how Lady Gaga does her makeup. It blew up. She got like tens of millions of views. Now she's worth like $100 million. She has her makeup lines in all the stores. It just happens like that. Like there's like a tipping point. And part of it is a little bit luck, like who's sharing the newsletter. It all boils down to shares. I actually, it's good that you're experimenting with the advertising and little experiments always are useful. But ultimately, there's got to be some content that somebody fairly big decides to share, and then everybody shares it.
yeah.
So again, writing the newsletter, it's all about what is shareable in this newsletter. Am I giving like such priceless, timely advice that people are going to share it with their children or their siblings or their friends and say, hey, you could try this. You're unemployed, you could try this. Or you don't want to go back to that stupid job at the office, try this. And they'll share your Odd Jobs newsletter. And who knows when that is? We don't know. So it's not going to be like a steady climb. It's going to be volatile, and there will be one issue which suddenly takes you to a new level. It's a matter of thinking of more and more ideas and being more and more useful, and boom, it'll hit like a tipping point.
I agree. I think I need to be, and you've said this so many times, I need to be catchier with the titles, catchier, a little bit riskier even with the topics, I think. I need to maybe bring in some like experts or even do profiles on people. So I do think from a content perspective, there's still so many things I can do. I tried LinkedIn ads this time. It was okay. Google ads have still been superior and so good. Posting, I actually repost some of the newsletters on LinkedIn, and those have been ways people have been sharing them. So I think people have been sharing them if they go on LinkedIn. I've been answering tons of questions on Quora with some of the newsletters as well. How
are those going? How's Quora?
Pretty good. I mean, I try to find questions that people asked recently and that are popular. I find LinkedIn's pretty much, I think it's better because I think it's attracting better people who want to read the newsletter.
Yeah, and also LinkedIn's all about jobs.
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe even like contacting brands and offering to like not sell this to them, but do this for them. Some guy reached out to me. He's like, I used to work at LinkedIn, and LinkedIn would have loved to have something like Odd Jobs. So I was thinking like, maybe I should just like contact LinkedIn or one of these companies and be like, hey, I'll like sell this to you. I'll run it. I'll manage it, but you guys could own this and you can pay me a ton of money.
Look, everything is good. Just experimenting, keeping the experiments small. And I'm looking at your Quora page. There's a question, how does Jen Glantz earn income and earn over $2,500 a month in passive income? What are the 5 ways Jen Glantz is earning over $2,500 a month in passive income?
Did you just find that by searching my name? I never knew that.
Yeah, it was asked. It doesn't even tell you when it was asked, is the thing. And it doesn't tell you when this person answered. So one person answered it, actually. Oh, it was answered on September 29th, and it quotes the article on Business Insider.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to go through and answer all of these questions that have my name in them.
Yeah, and then there's all these questions like, what's the easiest way to make money online? How can I earn $100 a month online?
Yeah, I think I answered those, yeah.
Okay, so like, is there any quick way to earn $75? This product testing one is perfect for that. What are some ways to earn $1,000 quickly? You just told me I can make $3,000 in a month doing testing shitty products.
Yeah. I go between answering Odd Jobs questions on Quora and marriage questions on Quora. So I just toggle back and forth, and that's the afternoon. And it's good. I feel like people see it, people read it. I need to do more of that. I think that could be really awesome.
So you can get also ideas for the newsletter here.
Yeah, I was just thinking like that's a great newsletter, $100 a day.
Yeah, $100 a day. Man, I wish I knew I wish this stuff existed when I was like in grad school. My stipend in grad school was $1,000 a month. And, if I could have made an extra $3,000, and I didn't even go to class, so I could have made an extra $3,000 just sitting at home. Like
testing products and talking to strangers.
Yeah. So that's what I love doing. I can finally achieve my love.
Yeah.
Just don't give out candies when you talk to strangers.
Yeah, I don't. If I give them candy, if they give me candy, that's as a problem.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know. As long as it's growing, like you have 950 or almost 1,000 from this, you have 750 from the first years of marriage. How's that newsletter going?
It's the same thing. I think, I get more feedback on that. People actually write comments on the newsletter. So I think people like that. I think, growth of that I'm struggling with as well. I've been hitting up, I pitched 15 wedding podcasts to be a guest on them. So hopefully I'll get on some of those podcasts and be able to talk about it. But it's at a standstill. I don't think it's growing as fast as I would like it to grow.
Yeah, sure. And then have you mentioned these newsletters in your normal bridesmaid newsletter?
Yep. Every single week in the bridesmaid newsletter, I talk about first years of marriage, the Newly Wed Card Game, and then every single week in my Monday email, I talk about all of these different newsletters and the topics of the week. So I'm cross-promoting them constantly.
And do you have any analytics that show where you're getting subscribers from?
Yes. So Odd Jobs, most of them are coming from, I think, my Google ads and just search traffic. And the first years of marriage, I think let me just pull that up right now where they're coming from. People are coming to the first years of marriage from Instagram is the second most, direct is the first, Instagram, Google Ads, my website, jenglantz.com. It's on the first page of that. My link, so a lot of it's coming from Instagram, my website, and Google.
And that's interesting that your own newsletter is not sending people to these other newsletters.
Yeah. Not a ton, because I think I think it's hard because Bridesmaid for Hire has 30,000 subscribers, but I don't really know who they are. I don't know if they're married people, single people. People subscribe to that newsletter because they want to be a bridesmaid for hire. So getting them to stay on that newsletter is tough, and I don't really know their relationship status. And that's something I wanted to ask you today about that newsletter, because there's been some great traction with that newsletter. Is maybe I need to segment that to sort of understand who these people are, because I really don't know.
Yeah. So what's going on with that newsletter? Then we'll get back to Odd Jobs and the first years of marriage newsletter in a second.
Well, I had the courage to clean the list like you told me to, and that was great. The open rates have gone up over 20%. They were originally like 7%. And the other huge news is I got newsletter sponsors and I'm making money. So I got ads and I did affiliates, which we talked about last week. And just by doing affiliates in 2 weeks, I made close to $70, which isn't a ton, but it's $70.
Yeah. And what affiliate deal did you do? Well, describe the affiliate deal.
I did it through this thing called reward style, where there's tons of brands on there. So it's basically like a network, and it's called reward style. So I'll mention different products, whether it's clothing, whether it's bridesmaid dresses, people have been buying those, rings, you can buy diamond rings. So it's basically like a platform that all these brands have profiles on, and you can search anything on there, and then I link to that. So I could also see what people have bought as well. So I make sure that in the newsletter, I theme a section where I link to things from there. So I did like I did wedding dress code. So I did what you should wear for black tie dress code, what you should wear for cocktail attire. And I linked to all these things. I did one that was like best gifts to give engaged friends. I did one that was like purses to bring to weddings. And I just linked through that. So I've made $70 in 2 weeks just by doing a little bit of that, which has been awesome to try out.
And what are the deals? Like, do you get like 3% of revenues that they make through your newsletter, or 50%? Like, what's the deal?
So everything is different based on the product you choose. It tells you the commission. So they have a whole page on there that's like high commission items that they're willing to give you more money for if you sell. So I go there, I scan it, I see what's high commission, and I go with those. So that's the benefit of a platform like this, is there's hundreds of thousands of different items on there. Wow. Of all different percents. It's not standard.
That's amazing. Reward style?
Yep.
I never heard of it. Let me see. I'm going to it right now. And usually digital products are great. Like, here's an idea. I would try to find an affiliate deal with like a financial newsletter. So particularly for people who are on your bridesmaid, these are people who are like looking for jobs or want, or who want to do good things with their money. I don't know. And if you link them to a financial newsletter that let's say $1,000 a year, they'll give you up to 80% commission on an affiliate deal. Mm. So those are really high margin affiliate deals. And I would find one of those. I'm trying to think where the easiest way. Well, actually, Jay, can you introduce Jen to that affiliate manager that was on the podcast?
Yep. I was about to say Laura Sprinkle.
Yeah, Laura. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, because she'll know good affiliate deals to hook Jen up with.
Mm-hmm. So that was affiliate, which was like mind blowing that I was able to make $70 in 2 weeks. But the other thing is I have 3 advertisers and I made like over $3,000 just with advertisers. And here's the crazy part. I even turned some down because a couple brands reached out to me willing to pay me money, but I didn't want to work with them because their product is something that I don't stand for. And I just couldn't see myself promote. It was 2 brands that both sold vitamins, and I'm a natural person. I'm very careful with what I put in my body. And after doing research, I just couldn't sleep at night knowing I was pushing a vitamin that I would never, ever take. So I turned down 2 advertisers.
Yeah,
which was tough.
That's really important. Like, look, we turned down probably 50% of the advertisers for this podcast.
Yeah.
So you got to really be into it. But that's great. So that's destroying the affiliate deals. $3,000 and in what period of time?
So ironically, I got $2,500 from one brand, and they came to me from my Monday newsletter that only has 7,000 subscribers, not even the Bridesmaid for Hire one. So they wanted to work with me because they liked my audience, they liked the smaller size of my audience, and they're paying me $2,500. And then I have two brands paying me a little, like in the $500 for Bridesmaid for Hire advertising. And those are two brands that I felt comfortable working with. So basically, since the last time we spoke in 2 weeks, I was able to make over $3,000 in ad money off of these newsletters, which is more than I've ever made in my life off of newsletters.
That's excellent. That's look, and so ideally, Odd Jobs and I mean, how many years have you been running the Bridesmaid for Hire newsletter?
5 to 6.
Okay, and look, you've already got 16. How many subscribers do you have that after the clean list?
I went from 30,000 to 25,000.
Okay, so now you've got almost 2,000 subscribers or 1,700 subscribers between Odd Jobs and First Years of Marriage in a month or so, a couple months. So it'll only get bigger and bigger. So let's say it goes up 5% a week. That's exponential. Ultimately, it's exponential growth, and it'll start. We'll see how long it takes to double from here. But the rate of growth should stay consistent, whatever it is, and you'll get up there. And these are valuable. I would say these are more valuable newsletters because, Odd Jobs is something that people are going to probably open more consistently. Like if for Bridesmaid for Hire, if someone decides they don't want to be a Bridesmaid for Hire, they're never going to open the newsletter again. But Odd Jobs and First Years of Marriage is one they'll open up more consistently over a longer period of time. So I think these are valuable things to keep building. Like basically, you're going to feel stuck a lot, and that's fine. My first business, for instance, almost every week I felt stuck and frustrated. I remember, I'll just tell you one quick story. Tupac, the rapper, had just died, and his mom wanted a website made. So I met with his manager and his mom, and I was supposed to demo all our stuff, but I didn't realize this guy had a PC. I thought everybody had a Mac. I was stupid. I had never used a PC in my life, so I didn't actually know how to I didn't even know how to turn on a PC. Like it was like an IBM PC, and I didn't know the operating system, like whatever, like the basic Windows operating system, the first one from like 1995. And he said, "Show me your stuff." And he moved away from his computer. And I'm like, I had to say, finally, I just don't know how to use this computer. And he's like, "You're pitching to make like a $70,000 website and you can't turn on the computer."
Wow.
And he basically, I've still heard him laughing when I was going down on the elevator. Like he basically just kicked me out of his office. And I get back to the office and everybody was like, a deal like that would have paid payroll for 3 months. And everyone was like, "Did you get the deal?" I had 15 employees. "Did you get the deal? Did you get the deal?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think it went pretty good." Because I didn't want people to be disappointed. And I couldn't sleep that night. And that happened all the time. Like I just was so frustrated. But things come through and you have, you improve the quality of everything and you have good quality newsletters. Things just grow over time. We just don't know. It's sort of unpredictable. Like we hope for the best and then we adjust accordingly when the best doesn't happen. Like, I write financial newsletters. That's one business that I manage. And I always am curious, like if we launch a new newsletter or do a new marketing campaign, I always ask the people who are doing this, who are in charge of all that, how many subscribers do you think they will get? And they always say the same thing. "James, after 20 years of doing this, we have zero ability to predict. Like we have no idea if people will like this. We have no idea if the marketing campaign will work. There's just no indicator that tells us ever." So it's the same thing here. You just it's like that's the whole thing of just trying different things and seeing what works. And then once something works, doubling down on that. So Instagram's working. I would figure more Instagram, very specific Instagram content that will drive people specifically. Like do an infographic about Odd Jobs or do a list of here are the 10 most common problems in the first years of marriage. And for more, see my newsletter. When you link to the newsletter, don't just link to the website. I would link straight to the archives because in the newsletter itself, you encourage people to subscribe.
Yeah.
So like for instance, when I click on LinkedIn, it says, "Okay, I'm going to yourodd.com." Now if I click on subscribe, it gets me to another page.
Yeah.
And now I click on let me read first, takes me to another page. Now it took me 4 clicks to read a newsletter. So it should go straight to the archives, all your links.
Well, let me ask you this. This is
Or
a fun
experiment with that, because I know I like the
Yeah.
design, and we've talked a bit about the design, but now experiment. Maybe just link straight to the archives and see what happens.
I did I did odd jobs this week about jobs that make people happy. Can you guess what the number one job is that people were the happiest at? They surveyed 300,000 people. Can you guess? And I feel like Jay knows the answer, but can you guess what it is?
Audio engineer?
Podcaster.
How would I know? Is it about eating and sleeping?
No, because I feel like maybe you saw my Instagram today. I don't know.
Oh, I briefly saw it, but I didn't read into it. This is how I scroll.
Yeah.
This is how I look at my Instagram. It's like, this
Yeah.
is when I'm in a bathroom.
Okay, so the number one job that people said they were the happiest at.
Uh, definitely not teacher. Definitely not teacher.
Uber driver.
Delivery guy.
Doctor.
Ready
No.
for it?
What is it?
Construction worker.
Oh.
And they said that because of a lot of different things. Number one, the schedule of it. Number two, the socialization of the job.
And then you're outdoors, you're getting exercise, it's healthy.
Yep.
Like
So I
when you
wrote
get
about
construction
that.
workers, they're like built up a little bit, and
Yeah.
because they're lifting stuff all the time. They're not afraid of heights, like where they overcome their fear of heights. And the pay, I hear, is pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's just a good quality of life. Like they mentioned, like the lunch breaks are always very social. So that was the number one job. So I wrote this week's whole theme was on jobs that make people happy, and then I wrote a whole list of the other types of jobs that make people happy, and that was pretty popular. And I think that's because it was something that people would never have guessed. Construction.
You got to
worker.
write this article, the happiest jobs on LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
and now you have one source of data right now, but I'm sure there's other sources of data. You could kind of like summarize all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like what I'm getting frustrated at is this is just typical Jen, is that I'm good with ideas, I'm good at building, but then I always feel like I'm not good at growth. So I'm wondering if there's something wrong with me or if I need to learn something that I don't know.
No, I think I totally get it. And I think it's just what you're doing now is difficult. Like you're working on several different newsletters. So and you're working on the Newly Wed Card Game and the Be My Billboard business, plus your traditional bridesmaid for hire. It's a lot of things. It's hard I would say anybody wanting to really break out and make a lot of money, they should be working on 5 different projects, because any one project is, like I said, it's random. You don't know if it's going to work. 5 different projects is just enough, barely enough that one of them will probably work, but also it's so much that you get overwhelmed usually, but sometimes you do. Like you have to write an odd jobs newsletter, and then first years of marriage newsletter, and then a bridesmaid newsletter, then work on the Newly Wed Card Game Kickstarter campaign and drive traffic to that, and Be My Billboard, managing a site. To be honest, like right now, and I've been doing this for a long time, I'm working on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm working on about 5 or 6 solid different projects, maybe 7. But usually at any given time, I might even be working on more than that. Like last year, I finished 2 books in addition to the 5 things I'm working on now. So it just takes a while to get used to that rhythm of work. And sometimes I get burned out a little bit, and I can't do everything in 1 week. It's very difficult. So, and growth, look, some of these might have growth. Some of them might not have growth for a while. I wouldn't say this is Jen, because I would say this is everybody. It's hard to do things. Look, if let's say first years of marriage sticks at 70 subscribers for 2 months in a row, then I would say, okay, that one's probably not working. Time to move on. Even if it's a great newsletter, even if we love it and love the content, you could, and as a last resort, you can even ask your audience, should I stop this newsletter or not? If you don't think I should stop it, please share it with like 10 other people. Like just go all out.
Yeah.
As a last step. Don't do that yet, but you know, the big thing is thinking of content that is shareable and why someone would share this, and asking people to share it. And then using every spoke in the wheel, like you were doing, Quora, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, post it everywhere, put articles that were from the newsletter, pitch them to CNBC or other sites, ask everybody you can to help. Like when I was building up my first free newsletter, let's say it was like 2011 or 2012, I wrote articles for a ton of different places, but also for free for free places like medium.com and LinkedIn and Quora. And I would always, in the middle of my articles, I would write whatever I wanted people to do, like follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my newsletter for more or whatever. And it took after about 3 or 4 years, I had a decent number of subscribers. I think we can do this more quickly now because I think the subscriber universe is bigger now, which is why I have 16 subscribers already, 1,600. But it sounds like Instagram, you should start gearing some content just to get subscribers. And like, let me look at your Instagram account. I'm not like Jay constantly scrolling through Instagram.
I know. I mean, I use the bathroom a lot, so that's the only time you.
I've never once though spent like an hour just like scrolling through Instagram and then putting the phone down and saying, "Man, that was the best Instagram session ever."
Yeah, but you know what? You will feel that on TikTok. I promise you.
Yeah, no, I when I first started using TikTok, it was great because I wanted to start making TikTok videos. Like they were fun.
Yeah, you feel great. I'm in the process of trying to explode on TikTok because every time I get traction there, something good happens. I get people contacting me. So I'm posting 3 or 4 TikToks a day, and that's been like a lot of fun.
I think that's a great idea because I have one friend who he built up to 750,000 TikTok subscribers. And those followers are loyal. They will subscribe to newsletters and so on. I think they're much more loyal than Instagram followers.
I agree.
On TikTok, how are you doing?
I have about 15,000 followers and over 500,000 likes on the videos.
Wow.
Almost 500,000. And I'm trying to post about 3 to 4 videos a day on TikTok.
Let me go to your TikTok.
It's Bridesmaid for Hire on TikTok.
One thing about TikTok, it's like for other influencer, not you, Jen, but for other influencers, they're just reusing other people's ideas. Like they just have this one song and then they just keep using it over and over.
Yep.
And there's one TikTok. It's just this one guy have his drone circling around him, and then he just shake his butt. Got tens. Is it 64 million or more than that? Yeah, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, come true, and then they just do the same thing, and everyone get like millions.
Because that's the power of TikTok is you literally do not know what is going to take off. The videos that I get like 1 million views, I would never have thought. So that's the cool part is like you just throw up everything and you never know what's going to catch. But to trend on TikTok, you have to do the trending songs and the trending dances. So there's like a bit of a science to it. But I enjoy doing that more than Instagram content.
Like I'm looking at my TikTok and the ones which get more views. If your initial quote in like a quote bubble or whatever is good, you don't have to do the dances. People will say, like I have one here, now is the only time to start $1 billion company. People viewed that one as opposed to, a video of the dog.
Yeah.
Here's one with Bruce Lee, and there's a good quote from Bruce Lee on the front. That got 86,000 views. And here's one, you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. That's the quote on the front, 186,000 views. And then I have some good videos that were like cartoons that were people made of different podcasts of mine, and they didn't get any views really.
Right.
Let me see. My most popular one has 1.2 million, but it's like specifically produced to be funny as opposed to like one of the dances. So you don't necessarily have to do one of the dances. I would do like, again, some kind of quote bubble. Guess what the happiest job is? People will click. They want to know what the happiest job is. And then I wrote about this in my newsletter. Here's the URL. The happiest job is construction worker. Find out the other 9 happiest jobs.
I think this is awesome. And I think I haven't really explored this route before, but I think it could be great.
You've got 15,000 subscribers. That's a lot. Now, again, no more than 1 or 2% will even, I think the average number is like 2 or 3% will see anything you post. And 2 or 3% of your followers will see anything that you post on TikTok. But still, over time, it all grows. Yeah. And again, once you create shareable content, see what TikTok does is for 15 minutes, they see how people are looking at your video. And if it seems like an above average number of people are looking at your video, then they will start sharing it to not only all your followers, but other people as well. Yeah. So it's that first 15 minutes. So you have to have that really catchy front image and quote for people to like want to see.
Oh my gosh, I love these clothes. Mizzen and Main. That's Mizzen and Main. It really is the most comfortable work clothes. Travel clothes. I had to travel this whole week. I'm traveling for a week and a half, and I just took Mizzen and Main clothes with me. Close out 2023 in style with comfortable, breathable, packable, and machine washable pieces from Mizzen and Main. As you wrap up your year-end goals, enjoy a Mizzen and Main dress shirt that you can wear confidently. I like that they've very, very just nice, solid colors. I don't really like to get all fancy in patterns and everything, although they do have some pattern shirts, but very comfortable clothes, stretchable pants. It's just super comfortable, but they look professional and you can wear them casually or professionally. I like some of their flannel shirts or untuck shirts. I love untuck. I never tuck in. So again, whether you're shopping for a special someone or giving yourself the gift you really want, I just buy myself gifts. Mizzen and Main is the perfect gift for any guy who works, travels, and or cares about looking and feeling great. As you could tell by my many photos across the internet, I care about looking fantastic. I'm practically a model. And let's be honest, every guy loves to look great. So again, shop now at mizzenandmain.com and save 20% when you spend $130 or more using promo code James. That's promo code James at Mizzen and Main, Mizzen and Main.com. You know what I love about fantasy sports is that even though I'm not going to be a great basketball player or a baseball player or a football player or whatever, I feel like I get to participate and make decisions and use my knowledge of these different leagues or these different sports to compete. So it's like I can pick my team or I can pick my favorite players and I could use my knowledge to make predictions and maybe even make money. So with the basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League on Prize Picks. This is a league created specifically for combo projections that include two or more players from different sports or leagues. Want to play alongside some of Prize Picks' favorite players like rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Schultz, who's also been a guest on this podcast, and I've been a guest on his? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries for some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. Look, Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player is rebooted. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. What? So I love playing it. I love anywhere where I can use analytical ability with my interests to demonstrate some skill and maybe make some money. And I like the game-like aspect. I do wish they had chess as a category on prizepicks.com, but I'll settle for what they've got. Maybe I should make my own fantasy chess league. But in any case, I love Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/James. Use code James for a first deposit match up to $100. That's the easiest $100 you're ever going to make. So that's prizepicks.com/James and use code James. Daily fantasy sports made easy. The future of learning is definitely online. Like, it's such BS that you have to spend $200,000 or take $200,000 in loans and go to some fancy school when it's useless. It doesn't guarantee you a job. Most employers, including me, do not care about degrees or grades or anything like that. We want to care that you love what you're doing, that you know what you're doing, in some cases that you have experience or that you're willing to learn. But people in general love learning and are curious. Like, the key to success is curiosity. And I think masterclass.com is the perfect model for online learning. I'm really happy they're sponsoring this episode. If you're going to give a gift, give the gift of learning. Masterclass makes a meaningful gift this season for you and anyone on your list, because both of you can learn from the best to become your best, from leadership to effective communication to cooking. Let me tell you some of the classes I've taken. I've taken comedy from Steve Martin. I mean, can you believe I can take a class from Steve Martin on comedy, or Judd Apatow, my favorite comedy director? I could take an actual class from him on writing. Wolfgang Puck on cooking. Dan Brown on writing, or Judy Bloom, who's been on this podcast, on writing. By the way, Wolfgang Puck also has been on this podcast. It's such a pleasure. I try to take classes all the time from masterclass.com. And whether you're watching Masterclass on TV or listening in audio mode in the app or on their site, the quality speaks for itself. It's like these Masterclass instructors are your own personal mentors that are going to help you reach the next level. How much would it cost to take one-on-one classes on comedy from Steve Martin or on chess from Gary Kasparov? You just wouldn't be able to do it. But it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. With a Masterclass annual membership, it's $10 a month. Memberships start at $120 a year for unlimited access to one-on-one classes with all 180 plus Masterclass instructors. So it's not just $120 for one instructor. You get all 180 plus Masterclass instructors. Boost your confidence and find practical takeaways you can apply to your life and at work. And if you own a business or are a team leader, use Masterclass to empower and create future-ready employees and leaders. That's the real education in today's world. So this holiday season, you can give one annual membership and get one free at masterclass.com/JAS. JAS, of course, stands for the James Altucher Show. So right now you can get 2 memberships for the price of one at masterclass.com/JAS. Masterclass.com/JAS. Offer terms apply.
For the first years of marriage, what's a topic that if you saw it in a newsletter, you would share with like your spouse or a friend who just got married?
This week I did love language because a couple people reached out about that topic. So I did one about love language. Does it actually mean anything? What does it mean? So that was interesting because I'm always yelling at Adam that he doesn't know my love language. So
what's Adam's love languages? So this is about that book, The 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
And the love languages, everybody's got 2, right?
So everyone has 2, and then I think like they do change after you get married. I think they say that your love language changes after you get married too.
All right, let's see what the love languages are.
Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts.
And how do you think it changes after marriage?
I think, well, everything changes after marriage. So I think that over time, maybe what your love language was before, it maybe shifts to the second one or it shifts to another one.
So tell me, does love languages really matter?
I think so, yeah. I actually think they do, and that people don't even know their love language before they marry the person. So
yeah, quality time, physical touch.
That's my number one.
Is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your number 2, you think?
It's between physical touch and acts of kindness.
Yeah, acts of service here.
Mm-hmm.
I probably don't do enough of that. Like cleaning the dishes, an act of service.
Not necessarily that, but just like helping me do, like, I don't know,
Stuff.
in the garage.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
The gift thing is like last.
Yeah, gifts are stupid. What do I have to keep giving gifts for?
Yeah.
Words of affirmation, that's a good one. Okay, Jen, what are yours and Adam's?
Mine is words of affirmation, and my second one is acts of service, and his is just acts of service, like around the clock. But I don't do anything acts of service wise for him because I won't clean the dishes and I won't walk the dog. So it's good we know this. And he also doesn't really give me like compliments ever. So we're fighting a lot about this.
Doesn't it seem like, though, words of affirmation, sometimes you could tell when it's just, they're just doing it?
Yes.
I don't like that.
Especially now that he knows that's my love language. I'm like, do you genuinely mean that? Or do you mean that because I've yelled at you that you need to give me more of that? So,
well, maybe he's thinking it. He's just shy about saying it. He's like awkward saying it. He feels like maybe a scarcity thing about saying it. Like he can only give so much and then he feels it's meaningless maybe.
I think it's good for me though, because I think like I always crave compliments. So I think the person I'm married to not giving me that is good for my ego. You know, I think it levels me out. It balances me. So I think it works, but.
Now are you able to see the open rate with everything? Which topics on first years of marriage have a better open rate?
I'll tell you right now. So yes, this one went out on Monday. It has a 21% open rate on average. Most of them have about a 26 to 27% open rate, so relatively low. The one that got the best is 52 annoying questions people ask you after you get married and divorce.
That right there tells me a lot. Divorce and the listicle. So lists work. The 10 Commandments, the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism. Lists are the things we read that were written thousands of years ago. Those are the only texts we know are the ones that are lists. So I would definitely experiment more with lists, like, 5 things you need to know the day before you get married, or something like that, or 5 ways to know. There's combine them. The 10 ways your husband is cheating on you, or something like that. Because that's all the ads that I see too are, here's how you know if someone's cheating on you. So follow, or I don't know why I'm getting those ads. Maybe they're like catered to me personally, but like, I would combine those. So 10 things you need to know if you're about to get a divorce in your first year of marriage, or whatever. So Robin and I are about to celebrate our 3rd year anniversary in a month and a half.
Wow.
What advice would you give us if we want to avoid divorce?
Well, actually, I think the best advice is, I wrote a post about this. The couple who's married the longest right now in the world, the longest living married couple in the world, basically said that their best piece of advice was to fall in love with what the other person loves. So they both took on each other's hobbies and then did those hobbies together and became like world champions in those hobbies.
Wow.
And I thought that was so beautiful, of like not only showing interest, but that togetherness of, if your partner loves something, to really show that you don't have to love it, but to show interest. And that was their piece of advice. And I found that charming, because most old couples are like, communicate, trust, respect. It's like, no, I like things more actionable. So that was a really good article that I put out.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Robin. You have to stop playing chess.
She's gonna have to start playing chess. I'm willing. We haven't done this yet, but I know Robin's interested in horses. We gotta start riding horses. I'll ride horses.
Yeah, James, you have to start riding horses.
I'm a cowboy.
I would love to see this.
Put it on TikTok, the video of it. Me falling off a horse. All right, that's good advice. So yeah, I would share that newsletter. 3 pieces of advice you need to know, or the 1 key piece of advice you need to know, or I don't know. There's that one, but I'm sure there's other advice too. And then with odd jobs, I would put dollar amounts, like how to make $3,000 a month in the quickest amount of time, or something like that. I would experiment with dollar amounts there, as opposed to saying how to make money while you sleep. Well, that's a good one, but I don't know. Just experiment with the titles. People click on titles. They don't click on subjects, really, because they don't know the subject. They just know the title.
Yeah, I like that.
And now, okay, so let's talk about things that are unrelated to newsletters and content, which is let's first talk about the Newly Wed Card Game. And Robin, I think you'll love this card game. So Jen, can you describe it again?
I'm so happy that Robin is on and you are on, because one of the things I needed help with today is coming up with the final questions for the deck. So after starting the first years of marriage, I said I wanted to start a card game. So the Newly Wed Card Game, there's 3 different types of cards. There's chit chat, which is conversations. There's challenges, which are activities and adventures. And then there's up close and personal, which is a combination of both. So in the past 2 weeks, I hired a professional designer who designed the cards and the actual deck, the outside of it. I updated the Kickstarter with more interesting packages based on James' suggestion. I also updated the Kickstarter with just more information, which has been great. So it's been pretty well, and I really need help with thinking of some of the cards. And I'm so glad that you're both on here to help.
It looks great. I love this design.
I made like a basic video for now until I have the card deck in my hands. I can do some more things with that. But
And when did you launch the Kickstarter?
I launched it 20-something days ago.
Okay, and right now, how much have you raised so far?
460 something. I'm 92% funded.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly been funded by friends.
Yeah. And again, I wonder, this is something too that you should figure out how to share or write an article about this card game. Give us some cards right now. Let's pretend Rob and I are playing the game. We pick up a card. What's the card say?
Okay, so let's talk about chit chat. So what's a quality of mine that you think is rare?
So Robin asked me this, and I asked her that, right? We each ask.
Yep.
And then what happens? Walk us through, like, how do we play?
So there's 3 different categories. If that was a chit chat card, then you just simply talk about that, and then you hit the next category. So then let's say next category, you got challenge. So one of the challenges is to blindfold the other person and have them draw what you look like on a piece of paper.
That's fun.
Oh God.
And okay, wait. To ask like, how do you get like points? Is it competitive at all? Like if it's a bunch of couples playing?
No, but that could be something. I think maybe this version's more like up close and personal, but
okay, yeah. So let's just say Robin and I got this deck. This is a great deck to kind of every day like rekindle a little bit of the romance. Is
Yep.
kind of the idea of this. And maybe you could even say that like every time you pick up this deck, it will rekindle the romance. It's like each card is a
Yeah.
date, sort of
Ooh.
thing. And so what was that chit chat one again?
What is the quality about me that is super rare?
What is a quality about Robin that is super rare? I think she is the best parent I've ever seen.
Aw.
Most people do have a heart. Like everyone always complains about their parents. No one is ever going to complain about Robin's parenting.
That's good.
Well, thank you. So is it my turn?
Yeah, picked up a card.
I think your kindness and your generosity.
All right, I'll go along with that. But is that rare? Jay's a very
Yes.
kind person.
No, but
I am
I think
kind.
it's pretty rare to have both.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it's very rare to be white and kind at the same time.
To be white and kind.
Yes.
I should also
Or
say
right and kind.
creative. You're very
Right.
creative.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that.
What other cards do you think would make good conversation cards? Like, what other questions would you want to see in that deck?
If you had to sleep with one other person, who would it be?
What?
Be a little bit, racy
No.
in some of them. No, but you know what? Actually, you could save that for like kind of the racy version. Like that's the sequel because that could lead to a lot of fights. You don't want to lead to
Yeah.
fights.
Or
in this
what
one.
if the reviews are like, this card deck sparked divorce for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Then you create a newsletter called "The First Year of Divorce."
Oh yeah.
The spinoff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some other ones that you have? And anyone listening to this, please post on Twitter some chit chat ones for Jen. But what are some other ones you have?
What have we stopped doing that you really miss?
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
What is the legacy you want to leave for your kids or just for your life in general?
I don't give a shit. What's another one?
Oh, man.
Because I'm dead. Why do I care?
What is a silly habit you have now that you don't tell a lot of people about?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right. So what are some new ones? What lies did you tell on your very first date?
Love it. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Including lies of omission.
Mine would be, I'm an Italian.
Is that what you said on a first date?
I try to.
I think they
That's a
didn't
good
believe
one. I think that's
God.
good. I think you should stick with that.
you. Yeah.
Put it in the dating profile.
Yeah, I'm Italian.
What about what's something that I could help you change about yourself?
Love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Could there be something like, what if the day comes where we almost get divorced? What's the one more thing you want to try? Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to be depressing, but something
Yeah. I
about-
wouldn't do the divorce one. Save that for
Okay.
the divorce card deck, or the will you get divorced card deck.
Yeah.
God, that could be a scary one.
What about what could I do to make your day more exciting? Or I don't know. It seems like you'd want to get more information about the person.
Yeah.
What habits have you changed since between before marriage and after marriage?
That's good.
All right, I'm gonna have to make an idealist with this one.
And then, the challenges I need like maybe 5 more challenges. So I wrote like create a funny prenup of items you can't live without. So like a prenup or a postnup of like funny items that you couldn't live without. So something fun like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. So it's like a fun prenup.
Yep. I
Or
have
postnup.
the blindfold one. I have call 5 people and get them to share something they love about us as a couple.
You know what would be great? Create your marriage meme.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun.
So wait,
Yeah.
just describe what you mean though. Like, what's an example of a marriage meme?
Like what would you expect using a meme? What would you expect how your marriage will work out?
So,
You
so
know,
like
like
one of
some
those
people
memes,
would
like there's
just-
a cat looking and a woman screaming at the cat.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
or-
like
or-
one of you is the cat, the other.
Or create a meme with a picture of the two of you or
Oh,
something.
that's
oh yeah,
cool.
that would
Yeah,
be good
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I was thinking like maybe you just create like a Rickroll meme, like you constantly troll your wife or your husband.
That's
Not
funny.
troll, but like troll.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I like the whole idea of like the wedding photos because no one ever looks at their wedding photos. Something with that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or here's one. Find the very first text or emails that you sent to each other.
And then the last category is up close and personal, which is a bit challenging to think about because those are like a combination of the conversation cards and the activity cards. So the famous one that's on the Kickstarter is what do you remember about our first kiss? Don't tell me, show me. So that one's like the fun up close and personal, but these are meant to be like a little bit deeper than just conversation. So yeah, these are just like a combo of things.
All right. I'll think of some. This will be my challenge idea list
Okay.
for tomorrow.
I need help with these because the game's almost ready. I just need to figure out some of the final cards.
So the Kickstarter is mostly your friends backing it. Tweet about it right now, and I'll retweet it.
I'm just worried that like no one's gonna buy this. That's I think like there's a lot more education I could do about the deck. I think that once I have the deck, I could really do some more stuff too with it. So
Yeah, and also once you go through the process of making one card game, you can make another.
yeah,
Like you'll know everything, how to do it. Like during the pandemic, we were going to make a card game, and we put some work into it, made some questions. It was kind of political related, and we just didn't finish it. But now you'll know how to make a card deck from beginning to end. The Kickstarter. So this in itself is content you could write on Odd Jobs or on CNBC or whatever, even if you sell just a few decks.
yeah. Because we were sort of talking about that last time of like making this something that could be like a whole business in itself of making card decks around relationships and things like that.
Yeah. Anything that works is scalable. So once you have one model that works, then boom, you could scale it beyond. So I'm excited about the card deck. I want to have the card deck, and it looks great. Like I love the Kickstarter. I'm excited for that. And how many tiers do you have?
I added a couple since we spoke. So I'm not sure. I think there's maybe like, I don't know, 5 to 7. And when you gave me such good ideas last time. So the highest tier one is a year of surprise love gifts. So every single month you'll get something in the mail, like a bouquet of flowers or something, just like a year of surprise gifts. Then there's one where you can meet with marriage pros. So like a financial planner, marriage therapist, estate planning. You can create your own custom card deck with me. There's one where you get the card deck and a flower bouquet. There's one where you get to write your own card for the deck. So it's just a combination.
This is great. Yeah, okay. I think the only issue with this is just getting the word out about it. And show the design on TikTok. Show the card game. I'm making this card game. Any of my followers who want it, go to this Kickstarter project.
Yeah. I'm gonna lean into TikTok pretty hard in the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, build it up. And 3 or 4 videos a day is good. All right, BeMyBillboard.com.
Okay. Well, what do we have here? So I'm still. You told me that if I wrote an ad, you would read it for your podcast. So I'm still working on the ad.
Okay.
I'm almost done with it. It's written in there.
If you want to make money and get free clothes, go to BeMyBillboard.com right now. Promo code James, so they know where he came from. And Here's how it works.
Yeah, you can just do that.
If Coca-Cola wants to make you a human billboard, you could sign up. I love Coca-Cola at BeMyBillboard.com, and they will send you a shirt, a hat with the Coca-Cola logo on it. You'll look sharp, and your friends will all see that you love Coca-Cola, and you're getting all this free merchandise. There's 1,000 brands signed up. Get shit for free.
Okay, can you just use that audio, please? That was perfect. And if you do that, I will even do something where people can type in promo code James and go to a special landing page. That would be so funny.
All right, done. We got the video. and let's include what you just said, too. So, Jay, that'll be the ad.
I'm going to add a promo code James thing. That's hilarious. But I worked on building out like more of the back end. So once you create a profile, so I gave you my username, you can log in and sort of see how that works. But that's sort of what I mainly worked on this week was just like the profile aspect of it.
And you can, what state is this in? Like, do you consider this launched? Like, how's it?
I consider this in very early beta stage where I have random people who have signed up who I don't know, who are not friends and family. So some people are on it trying it out, but I think it's still in beta phase for sure.
Okay, one thing I would do is when I click on Become a Billboard, I want to see people wearing the shirt. I want to know what I'm getting into right away without having to scroll.
You know what I'm gonna do before we talk next? I'm gonna do a photo shoot of like random people wearing some of the stuff and then using those photos.
Yeah, and we should be a brand on here and do the T-shirt thing and the surgical mask thing. So, and actually, it should be the brand up to the brands to send you photos too of people using them. But just for the front page you want imagery to really describe what it means to be a billboard.
Yeah.
And then on the very front page of it, it should be on the top somewhere. It should say "Get free stuff all the time." What if you can get free stuff, new free things every day?
I like it.
Yeah, we're like, it's not just fun; it's free.
Okay, and then I think you just gave me the idea of I'm going to do an odd jobs newsletter about being a billboard. So
yeah, there you go. And if you're a human, get free stuff all the time from your favorite brands. If you're a brand, get thousands of people who love your brand to be a human billboard. I would just say that on the front page of the whole site.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just be really just direct what this is. So now I don't have to scroll. I don't have to guess what this is.
Yeah. I want you to log in, though, and see the user end to see if that's easy or not.
Okay, I'm going to log in.
I gave you my login.
Okay, where is it?
Here, I'll put it in the chat.
Jenny123.
This is how your Twitter got hacked.
That's her email password.
Jesus.
I think you need a little more
was.
secure email password than that.
It was my password for everything 2 months ago, and that's how my Twitter got hacked. So it's now not my password.
After this, the recording is done, please change that password as well, since James says it on the podcast. So yeah.
I will. It's
okay, wait, it's Be My Billboard. I just had it up. Now I can't find it. I have like a million tabs open. Okay, become a billboard. Already a member? Log in. I am already a member.
Yeah, to all the listeners out there while listening to this, please make sure you have a secure password that's not just MF123 and always have two-factor authenticator. Okay, so I'm in. How do I get to stuff?
So if you click on like the little picture of me, then you click on that down arrow, you'll see, you click About Me. This is the profile. So this is literally your user profile.
Oh, this is great. Love this.
So this is like what you build out. So I built this out for myself. You can see on the right-hand side, it has my real social links and my website. If you scroll all the way down, you can see the other billboards who are on the site. These are real humans that I don't know that have created profiles so far. And there's quite a lot.
Now, why do I see the other? Oh, I see. Because I'm a brand and I want to quickly see not only Jen, but this allows me to quickly peruse the other human billboards.
Yeah, and then you as a billboard can also connect with these people too. So you can follow them and just, network with them if you wanted to as well.
Okay, now how can I'm a member and now I want to see all the brands, but I'm seeing the same front page. So I should see a different front page. Like these, you might be interested in these brands, and you'll show me all the brands, or you'll show me the latest brands or something.
So if you scroll back up, you'll see the tab. It says the brands. So you'll see if you go to the top, it says about me, start here, reviews, and then the brands. If you click that.
Right. So meet the brands. Okay, great. But I want to see this on the front page.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to have to scroll. I just want to check in with BeMyBillboard.com today and see what new brands are. Now, people are using their email address. This is also a newsletter. You should send them, whenever there's new merchandise or new brands, people should get an email.
Yeah.
Or if there's like a success story, like someone, met another human billboard and they got married and whatever.
Mm-hmm. I love that. You could also see the review tab. That's where brands could leave you a review.
Okay.
So
good.
I have a fake one that I just tested out there, but you can see they can rate you 5 stars. They can write about you and then submit that so that other brands can see how you're ranked.
And, okay. So they could list the brands that they're interested in. All right. This is great. Yeah. I would just do some touching up of the first pages. Like anytime someone's interacting with you for the first time, you want to make it so that there's no friction at all.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm even they shouldn't even have to log in really at first to see the brands. They have to log in to see the humans, but you don't have to log in to see the brands.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So look, I think everything's going well. You're making progress in everything. It's just hard because sometimes you don't know which thing is really going to go on fire, and it might just be one little tweak that changes everything where it goes on fire. Like, the story of Post-it notes. The guy made it. No one knew what to do with it. And eventually he just started putting reminders for himself on his computer screen with the Post-it notes. And then other people started stealing it off his desk so they could do that. And it caught fire. So you just don't know what is going to be that actual tweak that you do or that content that you write that is going to be shareable. The only thing you have control over is making sure you're doing, 5 different things and, servicing those activities like writing the newsletters, keep pushing ahead with the cards or finishing the design on Be My Billboard, just making progress every day or every week.
Yeah, I feel better. I was feeling so down about everything. And then even just going over it with you, I'm like, okay, there's so much hope. There's so much potential. It's a matter of something's going to catch on fire. I just don't know what or when and how, but I'm fighting.
Yeah. And look, at some point you'll add a new thing and drop an old thing. This is I was just talking, well, Robin and I were talking with one of her kids yesterday about kind of some of my entrepreneurial journeys. And when I made stockpicker.com, which I sold to thestreet.com for 10 million, and then I went broke afterwards, so it doesn't count that much. I tried making 10 different websites. The first 9 failed miserably. The 10th one, my business partner said, do we really want to do it? We just failed at 9. We're putting all our money into these things, and it's none of it's working out. Let's try something different. And I'm like, no, let's just try this 10th one. And the 10th one was stockpicker.com, which blew up huge. The very first one was a ripoff of the website Hot or Not. You know that website Hot or Not?
Yes, yes.
But what I did was I called it was Smart or Stupid. So you would upload your picture and you would take an IQ test. And then if people go to the site, they would see your picture and they would have to vote. Is this person smart or does this person look smart or look stupid? And then as soon as they click, they could see what your IQ was. And then all the other things of Hot or Not. You could message someone and blah, blah, blah. So I showed this to my 6-year-old daughter at the time, or 7-year-old daughter. And she said, but Daddy, isn't this kind of mean? And so it just wasn't a good idea.
Oh, man. It's like dating site before there was dating site. I mean, that's a cool idea for a dating site.
Yeah, it was. Well, there was dating sites. It was 2007 or 2008, something like that. I know it was 2006. And yeah, so she was 7 years old. And it was, and then I had other sites that were like that. I had all sorts of sites. I created all sorts of sites that I thought were pretty good, but you never know. And stockpicker.com was the one that worked. And this happens every single time. The entire time I was running my first company, which made websites for companies, I was constantly trying to figure out something better we could do than making websites. At one point, we all made different kinds of tea, and we were going to become a tea company. But all the teas tasted horrible. And another time we were thinking of being a record label, like hiring a rap group to be on our record label. So we pursued this one rap group, like, well, we'll sign you to our label. And we didn't know anything about music, even though we're doing lots of music websites. But so you just never know. We were always just trying things all the time.
Yeah, but then how do you know when to stop? Because I am no good at that.
Well, like I'll tell you, one time I stopped something that was actually making money for me. So Stephen Dubner, who was the co-author on Freakonomics, and he runs the Freakonomics podcast, he and I did a podcast together called Question of the Day. When it launched, it was the #1 podcast in the world on Apple's podcast list. We were making, like, I was making a good amount of money per month on it, but it was slowing down. Like, we did hundreds of episodes, and we were doing like 5 episodes a week because they were very short episodes. And it was just we didn't have any more questions to ask each other, and it wasn't growing anymore. We were actually declining very slowly, but it was like a slow decline in the amount of viewers or listeners and the amount of money we were making each month. And so eventually we decided, you know what? Like, I decided I'm just going to focus on this show, and Steven's focus just on the Freakonomics show. It was a good run. And sometimes just when things are plateauing for a little too long and you're just not feeling it anymore, then it's over. But like, you don't know yet with the Newly Wed Card Game. There's certainly examples of card games that have created millions for their inventors. Be My Billboard, you don't know, but it's not that much. It's a little effort, but it's not that much to really launch this. I think the design needs to be tweaked, and then you could launch it pretty much. The newsletters, it's just a matter of finding interesting content. But I would maybe experiment with the content a little bit. Try to be a little bit more extreme and see what happens on both the first years of marriage. What's to do a newsletter? How many times a month in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of marriage, people have sex per month? So, in their marriage, like, get a little bit more racy, and people will share. People will definitely share that. So
yeah, no, you're right. I always think I've tried so many things, but I haven't tried everything. So it's always so good to talk to you, because I always leave with like 37 more ideas.
We know now listicles and divorce get downloads. That must mean people are sharing it also.
Yeah.
I would combine those. Just like the ad, 10 ways you know your husband's cheating or your spouse is cheating. I don't know why I said husband. Robin just laughed at that. The thought of me cheating is just ludicrous. She's not worried at all. I could like threaten, I'm going to cheat. And she would be like, no, you're not. Just calm down.
James like, I'm gonna cheat. 2 seconds later, you just find him playing chess for 20 hours.
Yeah, that's like cheating. You said you weren't going to play chess today. Time is my love language, and you're spending it on chess.
Oh man.
So all this is great stuff, and the next time you tweet out about your Kickstarter, let me know. And
I just did.
Oh, okay. Let me see, because I don't normally check the regular Twitter feed.
I felt like I'm the one that checked for you. I'm like, hey, James, someone said something about you. Someone said something about you. Check
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's right, Jay. You should respond, and I never do. I should respond more, though. I used to. Now I'm responding to it right now.
This has been so helpful and a good boost of energy I needed in my life. So thank you.
Oh,
it's always the best.
No problem. You're always doing really great, and this I'm really excited about all the things you're working on, and everything's we'll see, but through time, something will work. Time and experiments. You have to always experiment with everything you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. Makes life better anyway.
And
so.
Rob and I have a challenge. We got to come up with 10 ideas for cards, and everyone on Twitter should do this too. So
I need the help.
I'll be a human billboard for the Newly Wed Card Game. I really like the design.
What should the T-shirt say though? We got to think about that.
Every card is a date, or rekindle the romance every night with the Newly Wed Card Game. Play the Newly Wed Card Game with your lover. Who uses the word lover anymore? This is my lover.
That's the worst. It creeps me out. People do though. They really do.
Are you guys boyfriend, girlfriend? No, she's just my lover.
It's a red flag. Something's going on in that relationship.
Right. All right, Jay. Well, thanks a lot, and I'm looking forward to all of this. So
thank you so much,
Robin. Thank you for attending this as well.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. It was fun.
That's the sound of a future children's campus being built. That's the sound of a new heart beating in an 8-year-old. That's a game of pickup basketball being won on wheels. And that is the sound of joy when a teen is cured of cancer. This is what it sounds like when you donate to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Give today at choa.org/donate, because nothing matters more than kids.